Hi everyone, I'm Sid Brandy, and I'm the CEO and co-founder at GitLab. And this video is about us trying to communicate the advantages of GitLab better. So this is mostly internal, but we're streaming it anyway. I want to say this is just a proposal. So anything I say during this video, including about open sourcing certain features, that's not a decision we've taken. We're thinking about things. Comments are welcome below the video, but this is not an announcement, nor is it a promise. If you go to the GitLab pricing page today, you'll see that we have 3 different tiers for GitLab: bronze, silver, and gold. And the first thing you see there is that we articulate the number of CI minutes you get with each tier. And in our mind, that is not the most important thing that you get. In our mind, the functionality, the advantages are bigger, but we don't do a good job of highlighting that. And the second thing is that you get all the features of the less expensive tier. I think that's logical. I don't think that should be the bold highlight either. But the meat of it is here. Here we are promoting features we think are important. The problem is, between our paid tiers, between bronze, silver, and gold, we got 116 features. So it will never be possible to kind of put all the features in here. We'd have 116 different things between these 3 tiers. It's overwhelming. It's hard to display. And to remedy that, we've made a page where you can see the 116 features, but that still is overwhelming. I for one, get overwhelmed from this page, and I click out. It's too much. And I care pretty deeply about GitLab, so I assume that for other people, they're not going to go through that page either. So the challenge we have is like how to articulate the value you get when you up tier from free to these tiers. And what Xiaoha and me have done is we've looked at all the different features we have. So this is a list of the 116 different features that are now in our paid tiers. And each of them have to kind of land in one paid tier or be open sourced. And then with GitLab, there's 3 things you get. And that's articulated in our command of the messaging, and we call that the value drivers. And our value drivers, the value we drive for customers is cost and efficiency, speed, and security. Those are our 3 value drivers. So I thought that was a natural way to group these. And for the bronze tier, in efficiency, we think that there's these features that have the X's, these 8 features, help you with efficiency in bronze. And they help you manage individual projects. We've not moved any feature from between tiers. We've put some on as a proposal to open source them, but we've not shifted features between tiers in this exercise. We might do that in the future, but for now it's enough to like get down to the advantages. And we've continued that process. So every feature we've assigned to one of these, plus 65 didn't belong anywhere, and the proposal is to open source that. If you would make a new pricing page based on that, you would start with the price. That's where people go to the pricing page for. And then we'd make clear that the free tier is all the stages of the DevOps lifecycle, which is super important. You don't pay for stages with GitLab. And you can bring your own CI runners and your own production environment, which is really important. At GitLab, you can bring your own cloud provider. We charge per user. You have unlimited ability to kind of bring your own consumption. The only consumption we charge for is we have to pay for it because we gotta have a sustainable company. And then we finish with like the CI/CD minutes and the storage, because that's not where the primary value of these subscriptions are. Like for self-managed, we have the same prices and you don't get any consumption. Now for bronze, there's 2 big advantages, as in features. We help you manage individual projects better. and give you more control over your code. And of course, there's more value, so you get next business day support, which is super important. For Silver, there's 3 advantages for each of the value driver. There's an advantage managed. For Silver, that's multi-project management for bigger, kind of bigger, more complex parts of the organization. You get code integrity and multi-region support. And then for Gold, again, the 3 ones, company-wide portfolio management, really complex workflows, advanced application security, and the ability to deliver business results faster. And if you're curious, like, what does that mean, deliver business results faster? For now, we'd have to look in this table. There's 2 features that help with that. These are the 2 features. We have automated solutions for vulnerabilities, and we have GitLab Insights, which is great functionality. But I think it would be helpful if we have this new pricing page where you can click on one of these. And if you click on one of these, you should go to a page that has as the title, what is here? Company-wide portfolio management. And then it has a text introduction describing it, maybe an analyst ranking if we're ranked by analysts, some use cases, maybe a link to ROI studies or total cost of ownership study, a video explanation, some customer references, and then, of course, the list of the exact features involved with links to the documentation and maybe a screenshot here and there. And we think by having a maximum of 3 advantages per tier, it will be a lot easier for people to understand the value and for us as a company to explain it. This way, we don't have to say, oh, well, what do I get with Gold? Well, you get 30 more features than are in Silver. That is a very hard thing to communicate, and I don't think we've been very successful with it so far. So I think getting these advantages will help. I'm not that set on the naming of the advantages. We did the best we could. But it's more about, hey, let's structure this. And if things don't fall under these advantages, there's no use for GitLab to kind of keep charging for it. We should open source it so that more people benefit. And there's we have a principle of moving features down fast and open sourcing them fast if they're not aligned with our buyer-based open core model. So that's the intro, and I welcome questions. We have Shahat in the call, but also the 2 CEO shadows. Yeah. Yeah, I think today we have feature pages, but they're either like they contain all features in GitLab, which is a bit much, or they focus very specifically on a very small part of the feature. I think these pages are kind of in between. And my hope is that we can very quickly assemble a few of those pages. They don't have to be super fancy. They can have only the text and the list of features. But if we can run an A/B test on our pricing page, we can see whether people understand the value of GitLab better with this new method. And if that is the case, I think it opens up a whole bunch of possibilities for us. We could start marketing these advantages by themselves. Maybe we'll even have, we'll align product or marketing more around these advantages. Maybe not. That's a second decision. But I want to get to an A/B test for this as soon as possible because I think we've had a ton of things that add value for customers, and I think this is a way to communicate that better. Yeah, the A/B test should show a significant increase in conversion on the page. We've tried an A/B test before with a page that looked better. It looked way better, but it didn't make it easier to understand. And with this A/B test, I hope because it's easier to understand, we'll see increased conversion. I think the previous A/B test was very successful in that it showed that people weren't converting at a faster rate. So I think it's amazing we have that capability to test things. And in the end, a person buying the tier means you've communicated the value. So that's what we'll be looking for, a significant increase there. Cool. Thanks. Any questions from the shadows, starting with Candace? Yeah, I think if you now ask our salespeople, like, hey, can you articulate the value of silver? I think you'll find a lot of different stories. I think there will be some semblance of Geo and HA, but I don't think, hey, GitLab Silver is great for multi-project management. And if you need manage individual projects, you probably should go for bronze. And if you have company-wide portfolio management needs, you should go for gold. I think that isn't there because we said, well, silver, it has 40 more features than bronze. And like, you can't expect people to, it's even if they know that in a conversation with the customer, they don't have enough time to tell that. And if they have enough time, the customer will be bored out of their mind before they finish. So I hope that it will make it more effective to kind of communicate the value of GitLab with customers. Yeah, in fact, I hope, but I don't know, I hope that next week, at the end of next week, so that's the first week of June, we can have the A/B test live. So the hardest thing for that is make the 8 individual pages about the advantages. And then we can test. We probably need a couple of weeks to test, and that depending on how much more successful or not successful it is, it will take longer or shorter. But hopefully by July, we have an outcome of that. And then we can put the process in motion to align product and marketing more around these advantages. And we can start open sourcing the 40 incremental features. Any other questions? I think one counterintuitive thing is that you actually create more value for GitLab if you open source the features that don't fit our buyer-based open core model. And that's for these 4 reasons. It will get us more users. It will get us more stages per user, which we know increase conversion. It will get us more open source contributions. And it will increase demand for paid features because people start using that kind of avenue, that stage, and that part of the functionality. So that's really important. And I think we've kind of tried to be conservative and just move everything into, well, not everything, we've open sourced most of it, but we didn't have a coherent policy about what was paid and not. I think the buyer-based open core model helps, but I think articulating the advantages a bit crisper will help even more. Cool. Thanks for watching.